The following program discusses sensitive issues related to addictive behavior. Parents are cautioned that some material may be too candid for younger children.
Welcome back. One of my favorite texts, and it was my favorite in my own recovery, but it's Jeremiah 29:11, and it says that, "For I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you, to bring you hope," and all that kind of stuff. And I just love the way that whole text talks about, not plans of evil, but plans of good and all that kind of stuff. And I grabbed hold of that. But when you go down to 13, it says, "When you seek me with all your heart, you'll find me." And I never understood that in the first part of my recovery. I understand it more now, is when I fell in love with God, then all of a sudden everything changed. When it became, when it stopped being that somebody was trying to teach me about recovery or teach me about God, but when I actually started having a relationship, that it all became real, it all changed, and my whole life changed. And for the kids at Teen Challenge, well, anybody in recovery, that's our prayer for you, is that you seek God with all your heart. And if you do, He'll be found. I'm going to introduce you to Nicole. And Nicole, I want to say, I came out to Teen Challenge and was your speaker. How long ago was that? Do you remember?
Like a month and a half.
Yeah, not long ago. We were there. And I was nervous, but I loved coming out. It was amazing. And I knew that I had come out. I get to speak with all of you. There was how many in the house? Maybe 9 kids in the house, or 9 girls, and I got 1 hour, and I think I went over, just because I like to talk, but I got 1 hour, and 1 hour to just say to you, whatever you do, fight for your recovery. Whatever you do, grab hold of this and let God change your life. And I desperately wanted that message to come across. I don't know if it did.
It did.
Good. And so now I remember when I was done and I turned around and I said, I would be so honored. I asked if who was going to get in ministry, who was going to be able to, does anybody see themselves as going through this whole program and then doing maybe what I do, helping someone else? And you raised your hand.
I want to go to different countries and share what God's done in my life and help other people know God who don't know God. And
you felt that strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you raised your hand, the only thing I could think of is you got to come out and just hang out with us on the set, do the program. And so I said that, and everybody looked like, yeah, we'll do that. And so I am so glad you're here. So now, before we even talk about your recovery, where'd you come from and who are you? What took you to Teen Challenge?
Well, growing up, my parents were Christians. They worked hard to provide a good life for me and my younger brother, but as they worked, I felt like work was more important. My mom was a boss at her own physical therapist's building.
So she worked all the time?
All the time.
Yeah.
And my dad was a nurse in a jail at night.
And slept in the day? Yeah.
So I really didn't have parents around too much when I was growing up. And when I tried...
People don't think about that. They don't, because, they think, I'm going to work and my kids are going to have everything. But if they don't have you, they have nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's real clear with what you're saying.
Yeah. And, as I grew up, my dad tried to be there for me, and my mom, too. I had horseback riding lessons, and I was active in sports. But I felt like the more I tried to get their attention or for them to love me, they would just push me away, work. I need to do this for work. You're in my way. Work.
They're tired.
And they're tired, and they need to sleep, or they're stressed out because they need to get something done for work.
Yeah.
So I started hanging out with older people and got into smoking weed, drinking, sex when I was 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
So really young.
Really young.
And because I was pregnant by 12, I remember telling you that and saying that sometimes when you're so wanting adult attention, the wrong adults will give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as I got their attention, I didn't want to lose it either, so I wanted to gain all of their approval since I couldn't get my parents. So I just went full force.
Right.
I just went with them and what they were doing.
Whatever they were doing was okay with you.
Yeah. And I was walking into middle school at that point because I failed a grade before. and I walked in wanting to find the crowd who was into that bad stuff, and I found it, and I got a bad reputation because of it. 13, I was experimenting with all different kinds of drugs with other people.
You know, like for some people don't realize what's in school, because then when you think, well, how bad can school get? And talk about a little bit, and you don't even have to talk about you in a little bit, just what's out there.
Well, in my school, it's actually like a decent school compared to where I live in the area. But there are kids who do sell drugs on our campus. Before I came to Teen Challenge, we had a drug search, and there was, I think, 17 kids in elementary center who got caught with drugs.
In the elementary school?
Yeah, and that's 1st through 5th grade.
Yeah.
And then we had 22 in middle school and like 50 in high school.
Yeah.
So
because, you know, I think that for a lot of people, they think if I don't know it, then maybe it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, educate yourself. Educate yourself, because I really believe that, like when you talk about that loneliness of not having, you know, of raising yourself and not having, you know, your parents around, or, you know, all that kind of stuff, there's a loneliness in there, and I'm going to fill it. And when I find something that works, I'm going to do it all the time.
Yeah. And
drugs and relationships and sex and partying, that just works. And then I'm going to be angry at you if you try to take it away from me.
Oh, yeah.
Did you deal with anger at all?
Yeah. That was probably one of the worst side effects of my drug use, was anger and violence. I like to fight a lot.
Because I'm looking at you and I'm like, shut up. No way. Look how sweet you are. But... But so Nicole, because I know right now you're just looking so like, you look like a model. You could just be this kind of this on 17 magazine. You know what I mean? But that is not who you were, and that's not the life that you came from. And so when you talk about violence, what was that like? That I imagine if you and I were friends and I made you angry, I would have to watch my back.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was violent towards anybody. I didn't care what age. Well, like mostly my brother, towards younger kids. Yeah. But I would also fight guys and like older than 22. Right. I was a mess. Right. I didn't want.
You would just pick up something if you needed to equalize the situation.
Yeah. But most of my violence was towards my parents too. I didn't have a problem with hitting my parents at all.
Yeah. When you were violent towards your parents, when you hit them, was there a sense of almost hitting them or getting back at them for what they didn't give you? Or was it that already gone? It was just anger at that point?
It was just anger at that point.
Okay.
Yeah. So
out of control, I'm angry, running away, doing any of that kind of stuff?
I wasn't really a runaway person.
I like that. No, you can leave.
Yeah, like I had nowhere to go, so I didn't know like where was I going to run to. Yeah. But I did sneak around a lot. My mom, since she was working all the time, she would come home and fall asleep very quickly. So I would just go out and she wouldn't even know. I'd come back at 4 o'clock in the morning. She wouldn't even know anything. Right. Until she found out, but. Yeah.
Did you ever get into like, and I don't want to say typical things because I don't want to downplay like the cutting and all that kind of stuff. Did you get into any of that? I mean, not other people, yourself.
Yeah, no, not as much. Like I never cut as wanting to hurt myself. There was a point where I was very angry at my mom, and there was a fight that happened. And I ran down to my basement because my dad has work tools down there. And I grabbed one of his razor big knife things, and I held it up to my neck. And I was contemplating, like, should I do this? But my little brother ran down the stairs, and he saw me holding that. And I saw him cry because he was my brother, and I had to drop it, and I just ran out the door. I couldn't stay there.
So you saw the trauma in his eyes.
Yeah.
Wow. So from that point, because you're still in high school, you're like a sophomore, right?
Sophomore, junior, senior.
Because you're taking all 3 courses at Teen Challenge, but so to me that you're still in high school. So when did somebody just say enough?
Well, I got into cocaine and LSD, and I kept it away from my true friends and the people who really did care about me. My parents obviously knew like there was something wrong, that I was getting
Especially
crazy.
with LSD, because you just get crazy.
Go around running around thinking you can kill people, but they were just.
You say that so nicely. You think you can kill people?
Yeah, like I really thought I could kill.
With your mind, even.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, for a lot of people that haven't been on LSD or hallucinogenics like that, is a lot of times you will just think that I can control you with my mind. I can actually take your life with my mind, and it can get you so twisted and so locked up. Were you doing movies, video games, all that kind of stuff?
Not so much. I was more like, well, I did play video games sometimes, but not as much as like other people.
Because I was going to say, sometimes with the violence in LSD is that you can actually act out some of your fantasies, but it sounds like you didn't have to.
Yeah.
You just had them in your head.
Yeah.
That's a lot of anger.
Yeah. And I really, like, my anger was built up towards my parents not caring about me. But as soon as my parents started noticing, like, something's wrong with her, they wanted to care about me. But at that point, I was so angry that they didn't care about me before, or I felt like they didn't, that I didn't want them to care about me. So I was angry that they were caring now.
Yeah. Don't touch me now. It's done. It's too late.
Yeah.
So that I could imagine that. So now you're doing LSD, you're doing coke. Did you ever get arrested?
I had a couple run-in with the cops, but like nothing serious. I got a lot of like citations, but I paid them off before, so it wasn't bad with the cops.
So were you going to church during that time at all?
My parents, I kind of stopped going to church with them. When they brought me to church, they were embarrassed because I would sit in the back and like fall asleep or like make a jerk out of myself.
Yeah, make fun of people.
Oh yeah.
Laugh at what was being said.
Talk really loud.
Yeah.
All of it.
And so they didn't force you to come anymore.
Yeah.
So what? Who intervened? Who came in and said, you know, kind of enough?
Well, it happened when I was getting involved with a guy I was on and off with since 7th grade, and he had his own like addiction problems with steroid use, so it kind of makes you angry too. So it was a bad couple. We kind of got in a lot of fights together and whatever. But my mom didn't like him, and he proposed to me when I was 16, and I said yes because, you know, I wasn't okay, and I thought I really loved him. And my mom found out like everything from the internet because I was kind of getting like MySpace, Facebook famous because of pictures and stuff. And
why would you get famous on those two networks?
I had a lot of like promiscuous pictures and videos on the internet, so people were like adding me because of them.
Okay.
And
that's another way people really get lost in that stuff. And somebody will say that you know, why do people do that? And it's like, you know what, I am going to get some attention. You are not going to ignore me. I am going to be out there. And you find something that works, and our bodies work, and our anger works, and all that kind of stuff. And so now people are literally uploading videos and all that kind of stuff. And your mom at that point didn't know, but starts to find that stuff.
yeah.
I bet she freaked out.
Oh, she freaked out.
Yeah.
She found out that I was sneaking out with an older guy, which was the fiance person, and she threatened to call the cops on him, but I threw the phone, so like she couldn't do anything about it. I started hitting her because I didn't want like him to get in trouble, and I didn't want to be in trouble.
Right.
So she knew.
So he was over 18.
Yeah, she knew there was something wrong with him, and like me too, because she can see it. But my dad didn't want to believe that there was something wrong with me because my parents were never drug addicts or alcoholics. Like, my mom was a straight A student all through high school, college, everything. So they didn't want to believe, like, that I was like that.
Right. Because, I mean, for them, they're like, what happened?
Yeah.
How come we didn't see any of this kind of stuff? So they're trying to stop you from seeing him. When did they find out the online stuff?
They found that out like 5 days before I came to Teen Challenge.
Okay, so they're just saying, enough. We got to get some help. Did they call everywhere? How did they find Teen Challenge? Did somebody?
There was a Teen Challenge had come to my church before, and I happened to be there for one of them. And it was a boys' home in Pennsylvania that closed recently. But my mom was like looking at it and like getting information, but I didn't think it was for me. And
did you know that I know that they're looking at sending me here? I know that that's in their mind.
No idea.
You had no idea.
It
just blindsided you.
Well, they told me 3 or 4 days before I came, and I thought they were kidding. I thought they were trying to scare me out of everything I was doing.
Yeah.
So I kind of like played it off. I was like, yeah, okay, like whatever, you're gonna send me away, big deal. But they were kind of serious.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, how did they get you there?
My dad woke me up at 6 o'clock because I live in Pennsylvania, and he was like, you're going to Teen Challenge today. And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, I went out before that night and was drinking and whatever. My aunt was at my house, but like, she let me go out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're kind of hungover saying,
yeah.
What? I am not going anywhere.
And my parents, like, they don't drink a lot, but they do have alcohol in the house, so it's not like I can't get a hold of it.
Yeah.
There was a point where they did lock up everything, like prescriptions and alcohol.
Right.
Yeah.
So he said you're going.
And I was like...
The fight's on.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going. And my dad left the room because he thought maybe she just needs to sleep a little bit. So I decided to go into my bathroom, lock myself in there. And I really didn't lock the door because I wasn't in the right state of mind, but I thought I did. So, like, my dad was like, Nicole, you need to come out now. And I was like, no, you're not going to make me leave. So then he just kind of opened the door, and I was like...
You're like, oh, man.
Like, I really thought he was great. I was like, you just opened this door. Like, how did you do that?
Yeah. Oh, because were you had you taken some acid?
No.
Okay.
Not that time.
Yeah.
But I really thought, like, he was...
It's just magic. Somehow it's magical.
No. But he, like... came in and like I can see the pain in my dad's face, and he was crying, and I don't see my parents cry a lot because they never cried in front of us that much, and he was like, you need to go, so you can either look like a scrub and go, or you can take a shower. And I was like, all right, so I took a shower. And then
you know what I think is cool about you, Nicole, that even through all this craziness and all this stuff, is that you really do love your family. You know what I mean? Like when you saw the pain in your brother's face and the trauma, you saw the pain in your dad's eyes. It was like, you know, underneath all of that stuff, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Does somebody see me? You know, that's awesome. So you took a shower.
I took a shower.
Got in the car.
Well, my mom thought I was going to run away at some point between me walking out of the door and me getting to the car that was 2 feet away.
Yeah.
So she police escorted me in to my own car. And then she child locked the doors, which I didn't know, which was really smart because I don't know why, but at the first stop light, I tried to get out of the car, but I don't know where I was going to try to go or anything.
Right.
So 5 hours later, like, I didn't know where I was going because they didn't tell me, but, like, I would wake up in between rides and just be like, all right, like, you guys can turn around now, like, I got the joke, like, I won't do anything ever again.
I'm scared, all right, I'll be good.
And then, like, I would fall asleep and then I'd wake up and just start yelling at them. So, like, they were like, you just need to go. And then, 5 hours later, we drove up Teen Challenge, and I got out of the car and shook Pastor April's hand.
So so you get out of the car and you go into Teen Challenge. Are you trying to play it off like I'm okay? Are you going in screaming? Are you, because you know people come in all kinds of different ways. For you, what was it like to get there? And
I was more of like a headstrong person. Like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to take my own bags in and, like, look like I could handle myself.
Okay.
So, like, I did. I took my own bags in. I shook her hand. I walked in fine. Like, there was no problem.
Okay. It's like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
Let's do this. So now this is my favorite part. The honeymoon period doesn't last for a long time. So what was that like for you the first few days? And when did you decide that I'm actually going to do the program?
Oh, wow. My first few days, I really didn't know what was going on. Like, I haven't been to like a rehab before, especially like Teen Challenge.
Yeah.
So I was like, I really didn't know
They have
what
a
the
lot of
place
rules.
was. Yeah, I was like, this place is crazy. Like, it's like.
They took your cell phone.
Yeah, nothing.
I know.
No internet,
I can't go
anything.
online, no Facebook, no MySpace, no anything.
Because my mom told me they had computers there, and they did when I came in, but I did, for school they used computers.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time I was coming in, they used books. So I got books, but I figured, oh, if they give me a computer, I can hack into that because I was really good with technology.
Yeah.
But you know, they didn't give me that opportunity, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the first few days, like, I didn't like it, of course. You wake up, you do what they tell you.
Yeah.
And I was one of those people that just liked to wake up when I wanted and do what I wanted throughout the day.
Right. And you did that most of your life.
Yeah.
You know, people, you know, I took care of myself, and what do you mean, get up and make my bed?
Yeah.
You know.
But I think I had a struggle throughout, like, the whole program with leaving because I just didn't want to stay there. But I think the point where I really knew I needed to stay was 11 months in the program.
11 months.
Yeah.
So it took a long time.
Yeah.
So what happened that all of a sudden you thought, okay, I get it? For one, I know that the drugs and alcohol leave our body. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I start dealing with that. During the program, you deal with your anger. You know, so you have people that are really helping you to look at, you know, what was underlying all that stuff. Where's your anger coming from? And, you know, what is going on with you? And so that takes a process. So during that first 11 months, you are looking at a lot of things besides going to school and making friends and reconnecting with people. But what happened? What do you think that, what did it look like when you finally said, I think I'm going to do this?
I was on a home pass, and like when you hit your 10 months, you get to go home every month for 5 days to like kind of get settled in with your family again.
Yeah.
So I was on a home pass, and I told my parents in letters before, like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. But my parents were like, they saw where I was and how much I had changed, and they were like, you're going to do it no matter what. But I thought maybe this home pass I could change their mind. I don't know really what I thought.
Right.
And I was sitting on the couch.
Because they're feeling like they're getting their little girl back.
Yeah.
And that's what they want.
Yeah. So I was sitting on the couch, and I was just explaining like my frustrations towards like the program and like them, and like why I should be able to leave and where I would go and like what I would do for school. Like I had this all set. But then my dad just said like, you need to go pray about it, because I accepted Christ like my 5th month in the program. So
what was that like?
I was at a youth rally with all the girls, and we just did one of our dramas, and a guy came and spoke, and he was like, if you feel like you have any burdens on you, why don't you come up to the front and just let them all go? And I didn't want to go up at first, but then another girl pulled me, and she was like, we're going up together. So we went up together, and I just started crying. I had no idea why I was crying at all. Oh. And then a lady came over, and she started praying for me, and she said, yell out everything you ever did in your whole life and just let God have it. So I started screaming like all this stuff, like horrible things. These kids around me were probably like looking at me like I was crazy. Right. But I felt it all, like just one by one, just being pulled like right off me.
Amen.
And I felt like set free.
Yeah. Because, you know, sometimes we have to do that. We just have to say, I can't carry this anymore. And our heart becomes flesh again, and that's where the tears just come flooding out.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have been there. I would have just been praying for you like crazy. Yeah. You know. So you accept Christ. Yeah. Does your anger, because you know you threw all that out, did that change? Did you feel a change?
Yeah. In the program, I really didn't. I don't know why. I think it was God's peace over me the whole time. but it wasn't like I had any random freakouts the whole time. Like,
wow.
I kept well, there was times where I would yell at staff, but most of the time I just kept it in line, and like, it really surprised me too. Now that I look back and I'm like, I was here and I didn't like yell or smash things at all.
Right.
But
So now 11 months, you decide, at about 11 months, you decide that I'm actually going to do the program.
yeah.
I'm actually going to change my life.
I was,
Woohoo.
yeah.
I love that. So what, from that point on, what's different?
Well, my home pass thing happened and my dad told me to go pray. So I went in my room and I found a bracelet that says never give up on it. And I just looked like, I was just looking up and I was like, this is really great, God. Like, thanks for the sign that I need to go back. So I came back willingly. Like, I knew that was God telling me, you need to finish this. Like, finish something for your life. You never finished anything before. So I came back. I still had struggles because, you know, there's times where you just, like, do stupid things and you get consequences for them. But, like, I took responsibility for it. My life just throughout the whole program has changed. Just my way of thinking, like, my way, like, the love of my parents. Like, I thought my parents wouldn't change while I was here at all, but my parents totally did a 360.
In what way?
They show me so much attention now, like.
So they got it. They heard you.
Yeah. Every pass, they would listen to me and just sit there and cry with me, and like, I never had that before, so we're closer. Like, my mom's my best friend now.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So what's really, and I want to just say to people that, especially when they have young kids, and because when you have your children, you know that they need your time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can work like crazy, but if you lose your children, if you lose your family, what does work actually mean? You know, because you think I'm doing this for my family. No, your family wants you. They need you. And so now you're getting that. I mean, you really are getting that. I'm hoping that thousands of parents hear what we're saying right now. Thousands of parents look at their little kids and say, you know, when's the last time I just sat on the floor and played with them? And that they actually make those choices so nobody feels lost like you felt lost.
Yeah.
But now you're getting all that back.
Yeah.
I bet they're thrilled.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I could tell you love them. How's your brother doing?
We were always close, even throughout like my whole drug use and drinking and all that stuff. He actually kind of saw some of that when I was doing it, but he understands now that he can't do that stuff. Like,
he got it.
Yeah, he can't be like I was. And I'm stronger now to the point where I can sit down with him and be like, Noah, you need to be good. Like, he's like my best friend too. Like, I love him so much.
So you really got your family back.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that even at Teen Challenge, you've learned to do friendships without the drugs, without the sexual stuff, without the relationship. I mean, you know, the twist in the relationship. So when I said, when we were when I was at Teen Challenge and I talked about, is anybody wanting to do ministry, and you raised your hand, is it people that have anger issues that you want to work with, or what kind of person do you think, you know, I just want to help?
Just
this
people
person
with issues in general. Like, I know we all have like our own issues, but just anybody like I can help and like show love to, or anything like that. Like, especially like children in Africa who don't have parents. Like, I feel really called.
They're totally abandoned.
Yeah. And Israel, I felt a calling to go to Israel since my second month in the program. So.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm serious. You're like, well, I don't know, I think she might be serious. I want to say thanks for being on the program. Next time you see us, we'll be in Israel. No, but so to me, what I want you to hear, even with Nicole's story, is her journey into drugs was that really need to be loved and need to just fit in and know that somebody sees her and cares about her, and coming out of that, her healing is that somebody sees and cares about her. She gets her family back, she gets her life back, and now she wants to tell somebody else that. I love that. We're going to be right back. Stay with us. I want to bring April back with with us so she can say a few things about even Nicole's journey and maybe say a few things to you. So we'll be right back. Stay with us.